Last time on Fallout Equestria Brotherhood, Adam found himself within a group of slavers being brought in by a bunch of cockney people. Big Lot is going off on a hunt for Adam and Neil due to their implications and their association with the murder of her uncle. And now, the rest of the story. Rising briskly from his chair, split his eyes filled with stern, heated fury. Up to the question! Slaver's reaction made Fritz curiously rise. Retaining his pompous smirk, the Countess sniggered. Oh, so this book is worth a pretty penny? Splitfoot did not comment while Fritz went on. Because of them all, he looks most fit for the task. Surely that is why you are so protective of him. Am I wrong? Siren hiccup. Groggy, drippy eyes. Aye, he's a healthy bugger if I ever saw one. Interesting. Very interesting. Fritz put it to himself, stroking the dull yellow fur of his chin. Spinning himself around, Fritz pointing his big tooth. I have a proposition for you. For both of you. Buzz Savers answered in unison. Aye! A weasel-like slyness saturated the Countess' words. Let's say if you took that blue fellow over there and made him go find a key. Now let's say he comes back in one piece. No harm done. In return, I'll compensate you for the risk by not only giving you the supplies you need, but some additional ammunition for your weapons on the side. Plus, some minor repairs to that rickety old wagon of yours. Looking into one another's eyes, Siren split to pin out the rest. Blurred by a drunken haze, Siren could not make a positive decision. Her partner, on the other hand, contemplated the proposal thoroughly, taking into account the probability of losing his best slave. While sousing the braids of his snoot, he stood to his face turned sour. Fine, but let me talk to him first. Please, Bliss replied rather reluctantly. By all means. Adam saw the whole conversation transpired. Strangely, his mood became worse as his hooves shook more vigorously. A saucy nausea turning inside his stomach, making the blueness of his coat tan pale. Bill rose his head from the ground, looking at his dry lips and batting his eyes. Adam, what's wrong? What? Adam replied suddenly, as the uneasy sensation persisted. How did you? Bill yawned loudly. When you travel with another pony for some time, you learn when there's something wrong. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Adam gulped hard. Well, you Bob, get up now! Splitsy's voice barked from the canopy. Moving his head to the slaver, Adam saw his captor trot towards him. An angered energy filled the air. For in Splittooth's narrowed eyes, Adam saw fiery hate burn inside of him. Splittooth stopped before Adam, laying down the buck. You pup, have they told you? A nervous lump in Adam's throat prevented him from answering. Well? Splittooth demanded, tapping his hoofs on the ground impatiently. I'm able, Adam answered loudly, if that's what you mean. Able? You saying that if I were to ask you to do something physical, you could do it proper good? Adam nodded, keeping his eyes away from Splittooth. Yeah, that's what I meant. Slaver snorted. Alright, get up. I have a job for you. Looking back at Bill, Al stood up. May I ask what it is? Just show it to. Splittooth snarled, pulling a silver round key from a pocket on his body. Encased a sparkling aura of sickly green heresy, Splittooth placed it into the slot in the collar. Twisting it once, the key made the device around Adam's neck let out a faint ping! There. Slaver grunted, returning the key to his pocket. Your distance is increased. You can go far away from me. Team Fitness now. But don't you think you can make a dash for freedom anytime soon? Your raid will still pop like a cherry if you stay too far. What am I to be doing? Adam asked. Splittooth began to seethe, as the entity expressed on his face became more vile. I need you to fix something for me. You're going to do it. I'll make you do it. Step up. The heavy sinking in Adam's stomach became worse. Now it stirred around like a violent sea, churned by a storm of anxiety. Can I make a request? Just a little one? Crying out cautiously, Splittooth nodded off. What is it, Pulp? Mousing his head towards Bill, Adam said, Can I take you with me for an extra huff? Splittooth had his head slurred slightly to Bill, pointing one squinted eye at the donkey. For a moment he was silent, keeping one yellow iris on him. Then in a gruff slur he answered, "Boy, but only him, got it?" Adam gave the Slayer a silent nod, presenting himself to Bill. Splintooth once more revealed the key that extended the collar's distance, and, like Adam, extended it to Bill's collar. "There," Splintooth grunted. "I'll get over here. All both of you. I'm going to get the cheese off you. Then you're going to do the task I mentioned." Outside the steel-plated wall of the outpost was a hole. It was no larger than 4 feet in diameter, and with a rickety old wooden ladder held together by rusted nails and tattered rope, leading down to a dark, chilling abyss. Around the hole leading into the mine was Fritz, with both slavers at his side. Next to them rested a heavy-looking wooden lid that was meant to seal the top during storms or raids. Adam and Bill felt relieved for a moment. No longer were they wearing the heavy, constraining chains which tugged and pulled along the floor as they dragged it along. It was liberating in some ways. Though for Adam, the wonderful sensation of his sweaty neck under the tight metal collar, feeling the crisp air, was very much desired. For now, this limited freedom would have to do. Adam had his head leaning over the mine's entrance, peering into the hollow emptiness below. Gulping heavily, the unknown void sent a shiver up his spine through his tail. Grinning, Fritz hovered a golden pocket watch below his chest. Glancing down, he tried, "It'll turn 6 soon. Would any of you like to take bets on how long it'll take him?" Splint was glaring at him. "I won't take any bets on it. They're my slaves, and I don't need to take any bets on them." Shrugging, Fritz placed his pocket watch back into a cozy little ammunition pocket on his iron breastplate. "Fair enough. Just curious, is all." Siren gave the leads in a wide, goofy smile, nestling gently in the foreleg. "Well, Nate, I usually will take you up on that bet, but not with me and splitting slaves." Fritz raised an eyebrow, unamused by a reply. "Right." Turning his attention to the 2 slaves below the main entrance, Fritz said, "Well, I suppose these 2 should know what they're looking for." Hurrying themselves up at the sound of Flitz's voice, the 2 slaves looked at him. Standing stiffly, Fritz pointed to mine's entrance. "Down there is a key, a nice shiny key, quite big, very beautiful. I would like it if you 2 were to fetch it for me." Before either of them could answer, Fritz went on. "Now, the mine flooded a bit, and not too much, I think, and my key happened to drop into one of the more deeper pools near the entrance. I would go myself, but it's possible this mine shaft's unstable, and being the leading officer here simply wouldn't do anyone any good if I were to suddenly die. The same could be said about your masters. I hope you can understand our predicament." Adam returned to the hole, looking into the darkness that seemed to engulf the ladder the farther it went down. "Please," Fritz continued, "go in when you're ready. Mind you, we don't have all day, and it can get rather boring up here." Bill came next to Adam, resting hoof on his shoulder. "If you won't, I can go first." Like a severed power cable whipping around Adam's hoof was trembling uncontrollably. A coldness, far greater than that of the wind, froze his body. Nodding, he stepped aside for Bill. Putting himself onto his ladder, Bill started to descend into the mine. Farther down the donkey went, slowly being encased in a thick layer of pure blackness. Mere moments, Bill was out of sight. Out of nothing came forth Bill's voice, calling out to him, "Come on down. It's okay." Taking a refreshing breath of air, Adam forced a turning anxiety in his stomach down. Tightening his gut, summoning his courage, Adam took hold of the ladder and made his way down into the unknown. As he rested on new sides of the ladder, it creaked unsoundly. Nails along the ladder's side protruded nearly halfway bent, and according to so they were completely hammered in. It was nerve-wracking, and the loud groans of distressed wood did not help keep down the chaotic sea of nervousness in his stomach. Stretching forth his hind leg down to the next section of the ladder, Adam felt an odd surface. It was rocky and damp with air, was thickly laden with cool moisture, and smelled of freshly fertilized earth, tiled up on a rainy day. Feeling the ground more soundly, Adam searched for the rest of the mine's floor. Strangely, it all felt the same rocks and dirt. It was all familiar in feeling. Reaching for his pip-buck, the orange lantern of his only personal possession illuminated the area around him. Next to him was Bill, who stood near the end of the ladder, smiling at him. "It's a good thing you got that. I was starting to wonder how they expected us to see down here." Maybe he didn't, Adam commented, inspecting the mine around them. Adam's mouth was agape at the sight of the key before the two of them. Bill, too, was astonished at staring in awe at the mine. Quartz, both in tiny glistening specks and in large sparkling chunks, honestly coated the walls like a tapestry of stars on a clear night. Even along the low mine shaft ceiling, the orange glow of the pit-bug lanterns set the whole tunnel ablaze with starlight glare. It's, Adam muttered, holding his pit-bug above his head. Beautiful, Bill concluded. Well, as nice as this is, Adam said, pointing at his hoof, it gets dark, so he tells me we're going to have a hard time finding this thing. Bill nodded silently as they trotted down the long, dark, cavernous steep. Walking along with droplets of icy wire started to drip from the ceiling. The farther along the two went, the more wire started to fall from above, and through the darkness was the noise. Distant, yet notable, it echoed throughout the tunnel ahead. Parking an ear upward, Bill focused his hearing on the sound, tuning out the low shuffles of their hooves against the ground. The noise was that of rushing wire, pouring down a continuous stream. Stepping carefully, they reached a wide round room with a thin wooden platform extending out just above the surface of a pool of wire. A giant crack was splattered across the wall and trailed up into the low part of the ceiling where water spewed forth from a gas in the stone. Below it was where would be a room. However, it was all flooded, giving out the appearance that the cavern itself was a flooded pool. The very sound of rushing water made Adam thirsty, as his parched throat cried out with aching dryness. Laying his head down, Adam sipped on the fresh waters of the aquifer. Each gulp was like a relieving breath of air that filled his body with rejuvenating energy. Bill, too, came to the water and drank. After only a few gulps, he pulled himself away. You could drink it, but not too much. The amount of minerals in this stuff is crazy. Moving his lips from the wire, Adam gazed down at the rippling reflection. I see. It's just that the wire was so... I know, Bill smiled at Adam. I haven't had some good water like that in a bit. But in this state, it ain't tainted. It ain't good for you either. So what now? Adam pondered. Well, Bill began, taking a shallow breath. We swim. Adam's first stood on the end of the dimension of the other option. Just swim? As in get in the water? Nodding, Bill put his hoof in the frigid water, only to put it out shivering. Yep. And boy, is that stuff cold. There was a lump in Adam's throat, and the very image of jumping into the water was terrifying. Looking at him, Bill turned his head curiously to one side. Adam, are you okay? Beneath Adam's coat was a ghostly paleness protruded. Shaking his head, the bug felt his legs lock up. It's just, I don't know how to swim. Raising an eyebrow, Bill chuckled. It ain't that hard to start learning. I can teach you how to hold your breath and kick yourself up to the surface if you want. As his heart began to race, while the pouring water began to ring thunderously in his ears. Why can't you go? I'll slow us down or get lost under there. What if I can't see? Hey, Bill commented sternly, stepping down towards Adam, bound calmly on the back. We can do it. Plus, I need you down there. Your pit bug is the only light we've got right now. Without it, we won't be able to find the key. Trying to force the lump in his throat down, Adam's hoof started to tremble once again as he peered at his lovely reflection. My brother went into water once, back in Iron Hoof. I'm so scared. That water. All my life I've never even thought about going into something this deep before. Yet I fought monsters for years in the Legion too. But of all those things, this terrifies me the most. Placing a hoof on his chest, Bill stood proudly, lifting his nose high in the air. Well, it's good for you I'm a certified swimmer. Well, sort of. I traveled with two socks at sea once. We had to learn to dive and swim. That was a few years ago. Seeing his head briefly, Bill continued. Never mind that. Let's just start with the basics of opening your eyes on the water, okay? I'll give a wary nod. Okay. Bill started, stepping into water's edge. What you're going to do is close your eyes, hold your breath, then stick your head underwater, okay? Coming to where the water met the soggy mine floor, Adam had a feverish chill below him. Bill at his side, Adam closed his eyes and held his breath. Submerging the front portion of his face, he felt the icy bite of the wire attack his muscles. Adam's ears were still very much dry. As Bill sat next to him, he kindly reminded the other directions on the wire. Now, what you're going to do next is open your eyes. Slowly at first, then open them fully. Got it? Nodding, Adam could feel the breath in his lungs slowly drain. Good. Now try. Opening his eyelids as slowly Adam could. At first, see a dark blur before him. The cold of the wire made the muscles in his face ache, while his eyelids gradually being drawn back. When he just started to open, an odd waiting sensation poked his eyes, so something been pressing down hard on his vision. Kneeling back, Adam gasped for air, coughing. Patting his son on the back, Bill asked, How did you do? Did you see anything? Half entirely, Adam shook his head. No, I saw something blurry for a second, and I was starting to feel weird. Not like pain, but more like a chill of pleasure. I don't know how to describe it. It's okay, Bill said. That's usually what happens when you try for the first time. Now, since it was done, now let's try one more. Like before, Adam took in a deep breath and plunged his head into dark water. As he had done before, the same strange pressure forced itself onto his eyes. Pulling himself out, he shook his head again. Again, Adam tried, this time squinting his eyelids to keep less water from making contact with his vision. Oddly enough, though the scene before him was blurred and distorted, generally the environment was visible. Many of the larger, more dark objects under water were clear, and the few glistening fragments of quartz drawn into the bottom were plainly visible as well. Outside this restricted view, he could navigate underwater, if only for a short time. Withdrawing from the wire, Adam rubbed his sore, straining eyes, muttering, It's a little hard still, but I think I can see well enough. Bill smiled. Then I guess we better move on to lesson 2. Now for this, we'll need to get in. Great, Adam thought. My brother could do it, because I can as well. Jumping in the water, Bill sent up a monstrous splash, sending water flying in all directions. Putting hose along the wire at his edge, he waved it out, begging him for to join in. I have to warn you, though, Bill announced, whipping his drenched mane around. It's freezing. The lump in Adams turned to stone in that instant. If there were time to conquer his fears, now would be the time. Rousing his strength, he battled the anxiety and lowered himself into the chilling pool of cave water. Instantly, the cold began to nip at his limbs. It was irritating, as he didn't show any signs of the cold halting anytime soon. Adam's teeth were chattering loudly, while his body started to shiver. All right, Asper. What now? Okay. First, we're going to need the paddle. You know how to do that? Bill asked. Adam shook his head. Thought so, Bill replied. Bill submerged his face underwater for a moment, before returning to Adam. Here, I have an idea. Grab onto me. I'll take us down. Then we'll both look for the key. If you need air, tap on me, and we'll both kick off the ground back up to the surface. Does that sound like a good lesson, too? For a moment, Adam was quiet. Despite the constant sting of the freezing wire, his heart was warm and beating briskly. Sure. Not sure how long I can hold my breath, though. Don't worry, Bill said, nuzzling out gently in the foreleg. We'll be fine. Right, Adam sighed, finding his way behind Bill. Rubbing his legs around Bill's neck, Adam held his breath as they both descended into the frigid deep. As water filled his ears, Adam heard nothing but the faint running of the water above. There was a certain sort of tranquility being underwater. Time was slow, and the tenseness of the world seemed meager to non-existent. Even with this sort of conviction, there was still a task before them. And so Adam, squinting his eyes, looked at the world from the rippling surface. Like before, everything was blurred. This was, except for the larger objects, and the occasional shining speck of quartz that reflected the light of his pit-buck lamp back at him. The further Bill dove down, the more an odd pressure seemed to form in Adam's ears. At first, it was tolerable, but the farther the two went down, the more it proved to bring a great annoyance. Annoyance that would turn into a hard, forceful weight, piercing painfully to Adam's eardrums. Biting his lower lip, he endured pain and hoped the frigid temperatures would numb the citizen. Holding the rocking bottom to two starts, the orange glow of Adam's pit-buck made the dark waters illuminate dimly. Those few items were the darkest objects cast massive, scattering shadows, doubling the numbers of the things he could see. Bill swam past the minecart, tipped to his side. only to find it was the shadowed one. Every second they were down in the deep, a weight on Adam's chest grew as he found the air in his lungs was thinning. Tapping it on Bill's shoulder, Bill placed his legs on the ground on the bottom, pushed off with one strong kick. Shooting out to the surface, they both opened their mouths, letting in the fresh air of the mine to their lungs. Did you see anything? Adam asked, huffing and puffing. Bill shook his head. No, I didn't. Let's try again. Maybe we can still find it. Adam nodded, and together they both dived down to the water below. Holding tightly to Bill, Adam peered carefully through the cloudy haze to find the key. And, after searching through the flooded section of the mine, the morale seemed to diminish. Feeling drained and weary in his chest, Adam felt the exasperating sensation of fatigue slowly consume him. However, Bill seemed just as eager and spry as before. Not even the weight of Adam's body, lacking his mobility, appeared to affect his performance. Then, turning his head, Adam saw something sparkle no more than 2 feet from him. Unlike the quartz or metal tools, this object was thin, small, and more fine in appearance than anything else he had encountered in the mine. Nestled neatly under a wooden stool was the key resting completely still. Nudging Bill, Adam tried to point his companion in the opposite direction. But the cold of the wire had numbed his companion's feeling. For all Bill could feel was the weak sensation of Adam's grip. Now he sprang out a glance. He had his sight set on another metal tool glimmering before him, locked between a large rock and a green toolbox. Convinced it was the key, the donkey tried to reach it. Returning his view to the key, Adam felt sick. The urge to swim toward it, to reach the key grew. Yet a coldness, not part of the chilly water, pierced his confidence. What would Brother do? Adam thought. Please, what would he do? He's more experienced with this stuff, not me. What would he do? In that moment, a thought sparked a life in Adam's mind. What would I do? Locking his eyes on the key, let go of Bill. Busting his forelegs off, he started through the wire. Kicking the wire fiercely, Adam pushed the wire back with all his might. It wasn't the best time to learn how to paddle, but there was never a time to start. He could now be bigger than he. With the key in close reach, he focused on it as the lamp of his light glowed brightly. The wire moved toward him once his artificial levitation worked its magic. Moving the key slowly to his mouth, Adam grabbed the chilled metal shank firmly in his teeth. Realizing his comrade was no longer holding him, Bill quickly searched for Adam, spying lighting the pit bucket. He started swimming behind Adam, desperately trying to reach him. Though the key in the was in Adam's mouth, the bug found there was definitely something wrong with his legs. They had gotten numb. The heat of the moment he thought his freezing body escaped him. Weight was pressed down his chest like a boulder, compressing to a foam mat, signifying the breath in his lungs depleting. Soon his wrist started to darken, as Adam slowly felt his whole body go limp. His tongue could still taste the bitter metal. Before his eyes shut, Bill was rushing to the dark in his aid. That was, until the whole of Adam's sight was clouded by a lonely, icy darkness. Becoming unconscious was a coming ordeal for Adam. This had been the last time he awoke from uncertain limbo. This his voice cried out to him in the dark. A voice, no softer than that of a whisper. Then his eyes slowly opened. Warmth of life started pulsing through his body once more. Letting a hoarse, hacking cough of water spewed out from his mouth. Following his sigh, he groaned, feeling cold soreness all over his body. Bill started to rub up Adam's side gently, speaking in a delicate tone. Adam, you okay? Say something. Adam coughed, slumping back in his seat. Did we get the key? Blinking, Bill nodded, reaching to his side before revealing a small steel key between his teeth. Around the polished bow of the key was a gray rope. Along the long glassy shank was a series of small letters engraved to one side. Sitting up slowly, Adam caught his breath. Sorry you went off like that. Bill rested his haunches on the muddy ground and chuckled. Ain't your fault. Should have noticed that was a mining pit in front of me. While he rubbed the back of his aching neck, Adam gently bumped the tightened fastened slave collar. Scoffing, Adam remarked, I forgot that this was here. I know what you mean, said Bill. Suppose we should take the key up there, huh? Adam added. Yep. Hopefully those folks up there aren't too mad about the wait. Pointing one hoof at the key, Adam asked Bill in a shallow voice. I saw some writing on it. What does it say? Bill looked at the key and laughed. Standing uneasily, Adam hollered at his friend. What's it say? Giggling at schoolfully, Bill replied, It says, Jet Safekey. Some family. bursting into a loud guffaw, and joined in on the laughter. There was a funny air to it, despite the hardships he had went through. It warmed Alice's heart to hear the laughter filled with the low roof tunnels of the mine. After the laughter had faded, both had recovered themselves, flying down to the caverns, their damp clothes squelched against the soggy mine floor. Coming to the ladder, with a single shaft of pure light beaming down the dark, Alice started up it, placing his hooves on the old wooden ladder. Was Alice halfway up the ladder, bright white light at the outside beaming onto them, Footskull's voice called out, "Is that you, boys? Come on up! We're waiting for you." "We're almost there, Bill," Alice said, taking hold of another creaking wooden step. As the surface glow became greater, soon became consumed with vision, causing Adam to wince at the blinding light. Every moment he emerged from the mine, a pair of hooves shot out from the brightness, took him hold by the shoulders, dragging him out to the rocky earth. Adam's face plummeted directly to the ground, making his muzzle throb sorely. The same pair of lanky, greasy hooves came forth, pulling Bill out of the mine, onto the ground. Blinking, Adam applied pressure to his aching nose as he stood up unsteadily. Very gradually, the light was in case the world began to fade, while his vision came too. The first thing Adam was greeted with was the long, skinny face of Splittooth, glaring out nearly inches away from his own face. Looking down at him with yellow eyes, the slaver's putrid breath brushed against the hairs of Adam's snout, making the buck feel nauseated. Crinkling his nose, Adam looked up at the slaver, who silently stared at him. No sooner had his eyes met Splittooth's, it cracked a running grin smile on the slaver's face, exposing the sickly, tinted skew teeth in his mouth. Raising himself, the slaver patted Adam on the head slightly. "Well, not all done, I see. Follow them wills to keep up." "I have it for you," Bill answered, standing up. Nothing his attention to the donkey, Splittooth sneered. "So, you're the one that says it then." Severely tipsy, Cyrus started bouncing in one spot, grinning widely, clapping hers in the air. "He found it! He found it! The donkey stood and found it!" Prince raised an eyebrow at the mayor. "Yes, what she said. I would very much like to see my key now, if you would please." Trying behind Bill, Splittooth promptly slapped the donkey on the back, sending a quick shoulder panic to his wrong. Snickering, the slaver added, "Now, go on, son. Give the captain's key." Taking hold of the key in between his teeth, Bill tried over to Captain Fletz. Captain's arm became a glow of a translucent magical aura once it felt the key in its entirely. Removing itself from Bill's grasp, the key floated down towards Fletz. Once the energy had faded, Fletz placed a smiling hoof on the key's end, where he looked down and admired it. "It done me a good service, gentlecoats." Flipping his eyes to Splittooth, Fletz said with a simple little bow, "As you promised, you get your supplies. Free of cost, of course. That along with the repair for your wagon." Sorry looked up at the Fletz, rubbing her funny legs for him, also taking the captain by surprise. Her cheeks were burning a fiber red as he giggled, ogling him. "Yes, sir, Mr. Captain." Gently brushing off him, Fletch reeled back, brushing off the sex of his body as he had tossed. Boisterous tone, Splittooth declared, "Now, with that done, I want the supplies before dark comes." Laying a quiet sight, Fletch made his way back to the outpost. "Fine, let us be on our way then. We have much to do in a small window of time." "Right," Splittooth agreed. Pointing at Adam and Bill, Splittooth shouted, "On you two! Hop to it! Let's get back with the others. Once we get our grub, we're headed out!" Jumping to attention, Adam and Bill followed Splittooth and Siren. She walked along the trail, steel wall of the outpost. Adam smiled. First time he'd done something so brave on his own, without the help of his brother. You found courage beat with him. The sort of courage which makes leaders, or courageous heroes, what they were. Though it was simple, it felt like an achievement to him. Bill looked at Adam, raising a single eyebrow. "Why are you smiling?" "Just proud of us, I suppose," Adam replied. Another odd feature was, for the first time since its capture, his self was completely still. Not a shake or a shudder. Playfully nudging Adam's shoulder, Bill added, "Really? Anything else?" "Well," Adam responded, looking at Bill's collar, "they didn't lower the distance on our collars." Big Aunt was smiling. She enjoyed the lovely little stroll through the wasteland, the cool breeze moving through her curly locks. The sound of armored plates clinking against each other made her feel at peace. Of course, having a loyal pony carry her wherever she pleased was also enjoyable. Evening was fast approaching. As the clouds above bled like vibrant oranges in multitude hues, painting a mural of white in the sky, while the day came slowly to an end. Scaring about the ancient ways, soldiers, some pulling carts full of supplies, marched onward toward the east. In order to cut off the pony's big lot, believed murdered her uncle, so they took an alternative north. It was known by Big Lot that at least an outpost nearby could house them. Leslie was determined to find her lost toys. She knew anything about the ponies that her group hunted, so that they would avoid the Legion. As she single hoofed, she pushed back her hair and inhaled the dusty air. Laying on a pleasant sigh, she tapped Cover on the head.
You know, I do enjoy walks like this. Even when I'm on the hunt, there's something I do love about the outdoors. Don't you think so?
Cover was silent, keeping an agitated Christmas away from her sight. Frowning, Big Lot tapped him harder on the head.
Does he not hear me?
Cover thought, of course I did, you little shit. Would you please shut it? Narrowing her eyes, the little filly pouted, slamming her hoof on the top of his head. The sudden pain inflicted on Cover sent him staggering briefly. As an aching pain throbbed throughout his cranium. Throbbing where he stood, he placed the hoof on his brow, shielding him from further blows. Yes, you idiots, he muttered, starting to walk once more.
Why didn't you listen to me?
Big Lot retorted. Lowering his head to the ground, Cover began to whimper. I'm dreadfully sorry, Corinthians. I was focusing on the task of Huff.
Well, she said in a sarcastic tone, better not distract you from walking. It's not like it's easy enough already.
I'm sorry, Iranians, he repeated. It will not happen again.
It better not, she growled, for your sake.
She's worse than her uncle, Cover thought. Could I even try to get rid of her? How would I do it? When? Angus speaklessly, his eyes scanned the area around him. As the pain pulsed atop his brow, causing his thoughts to become distorted. Shaking his head, Cover continued to ponder the many ways of dealing with Big Lot. Moving his attention to the carts pulled by the soldiers, he examined the possibilities. Perhaps if I took a gun from the cart. No, that wouldn't work. What if... No, too risky. The dismal thinking only made the pain throb more intensely than it had before. Nowhere, within miles, seemed to yield any sort of option for a successful takeover. So he waited, keeping a keen eye open for the right opportunity to strike. Fear usually felt like an odd tingling, or sinking in the chest of the stomach. To Covert, fear was everywhere, like a large, solid wall of concrete. In that moment, however, he could feel nothing. Not a single brick, nor barrier to the wall that prevented him from acting out his desires against his master. Satan was uplifting, spry, giving a deep sense of purpose that bubbled like a sweet carbonated fizz in his chest. If there were no parties around, he would deal with her right where she stood. To think, a simple motion of taking a knife from one of the other soldiers, plunging it to her neck, almost brought a smile to his miserable face. As the soldiers marched forth through the waste, a small gorge came into view. It had dusty, low slopes that led down to a narrow ditch at the bottom, where several small boulders along a winding rattle ravine pressed and scattered about. Only the more distant section twisted off into the distance, peered out from behind the hills. At the corner of her eye, Big Lot spotted a brown, strange object, covered in food and moving along the hills. Standing atop her cushions, began pointing and jumping and announcing to the world fine.
Look! I saw something over the hills!
Skinner pulled along Covert, spying the gourds. What is your radiance? I don't seem to
follow ya!
Slapping alongside her head, cushions, Big Lot barked.
Does he see? Can be done! Cause so close now, they resorted to hiding in the hills!
Blinking, Skinner shrugged.
I don't see anything!
Like water vigorously boiling inside her. Big Lot let out a fuming scream.
It's there! I know it is! I know!
Leaning his head back, Skinner planted his ears submissively.
I know, but get those things under every living thing you see out here!
What says you can't? Covert replied, with a high degree of meekness in his tone. Shaking his head, Skinner leaned his face closer to his miserable stallion, with the raging feeling on his back. Gawking,
Look out!
Glaring at Captain Peacock answered,
Skinner, stop talking!
As he commanded, Skinner stopped speaking, listening to her words carefully as he looked fearfully up at his master.
But your radiance!
Raising her nose in the air, she turned her head away from Skinner, receiving off his face.
That's no way you talk to me! Now listen, are going to get a few guards to come with me. We'll go over the hill and catch them off guard. Take the rest of the troops and circle around. When we corner them, well, it won't be long before they're not a problem anymore.
Skinner's stomach sank, as the certainty made his chest feel pricked with anxiety. Sighing, he bowed slightly, groaning.
Yes, your radiance, I'll get to it.
The Skinner ordered he did. He trotted out to the other soldiers to fulfill his orders. A company of big lost soldiers halted their movement. Unhitching themselves from the supply cars, the soldiers raced to prepare their weapons. The more skewers spread the word about the princess's commands. Assembling just as he commanded. Two Earthpoint soldiers armed with bulky assault rifle battle cells came to cover its side. Strapped to the heavy battle armor of her breastplates were long, jagged combat knives tucked neatly in thick, brown leather seats. Big Lot was grinning wildly, peering gleefully at the strong soldiers that had come to her. Intently, she waved a hoof to Scooter, who was racing the troops to circle around. Leaning over the edge of her cushion, she whispered to her soldiers.
Now listen here. They're on the other side of that hill, and...
Your Radiance, which do you think it is? One of the soldiers asked. Little Philly found it hard to reach the pony who spoke out from her seat. Though a tap over its head, her personal carrier shuffled slightly towards the two soldiers. Doing so, she was at a close reach of the soldier. Raising her hoof, Big Lot briskly smacked one who spoke out behind the helmet. Some folds the soldier recovered herself.
Do you have anything else to say?
Big Lot asked. The soldier shook his head.
Good, Big Lot snorted. Stay quiet. I won't have you making this up for me. Those ponies will pay for what they did to my border, and I will avenge my uncle.
Glancing over to Skur, who was now moving towards the troops farther ahead to circle the hills, Big Lot said to her grip,
Let's move! Will they be surprised when they see you slowly a few of us? Then, wham! They'll be dead, 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 dead!
With confirming nods, Big Lot's squad moved up gingerly. Deep inside of him, Cover felt the intensive beating of his heart as they came closer to the top, running the bow cells. They halted near the peak of the hill. Flapping her tiny hooves together, Big Lot had a wide, malicious grin reaching both ears.
Oh, I can't wait! Oh, I can't wait! Now, let's go! Now! Show them no mercy!
One of the soldiers died, hopping from Cover's back as she reached the top of the hill with her soldiers. Together, the four of them stormed down the hillside. A faint cloud of dust kicked up behind them as they ascended down to the edge of the gorge. When they reached the bottom, Big Lot stopped, as she spotted something rustle in a dry bush tree feet from the edge. Lovewood's smile and peppy spirit was gone. Stone cold feeling confused and consumed her entire being. But the edge of the solid gorge was nothing but a few shaky bushes and hills as far as the eye could see. Pointing one of her soldiers, Big Lot turned her head to the bush before her.
You! Shoot at! Shoot at until it stops moving!
Yes, Your Radiance, the soldier said, aiming the barrel of his shell against the dead plant. Firing two loud shots at the bush, all the commotion within it ceased. The shrub was steadily still. From it came a large rat, larger than a broad hunting hound. On the rat's side was two glistening bullet wounds, with warm blood oozing out of them profusely down its matted fur. Wheezing out the blood droplets from its gaping mouth, the injured beast hobbled 5 feet away from the bush before falling to its side. Taking in 3 raspy, bubbly breaths, it died. Big Lot's eyes went wide as an racing heat started to boil for her.
A rat!
She growled. Looks like it, Your Radiance, one of the soldiers remarked. Swinging on top of her lungs in the sky, Big Lot took the nearest stone hoof and marched towards the dead beast. Lifting the gray, smooth stone high, the little filly began to pummel the skull of the rat, heaving in the side of his head as he pounded faster, faster until tiny fuzzy bits of bones went scattering about her.
You stupid, ugly, nasty, disgusting thing!
She screamed at the rock and became caked in thin layer of brain, blood, and flesh. Bringing her teeth down hard, she stepped away from the rat, dropping the bloody rock down her. Panting, she laid her haunches to the ground, recovering the strength she had lost. Big Lot's mane was in a tangled mess, and no pony around her dared to make a sound as she cooled herself. Clover trod between the two soldiers, stood idly by as watching the princess calm herself. Laying a hoof on one of the soldier's back, he scoffed nervously. Well, looks like it wasn't them at all, was it? Looks like it, said the soldier to his left. Looking aside, said a large combat name on the large soldier's breastplate, Clover chuckled. I don't know about you guys, but... Like a flash of lightning striking, Covert went for the knife. Quickly moving from his case, he held the blade firmly in his teeth. As he pulled away from the soldier, the weapon's razor-sharp blade slid cleanly around the soldier's neck. A huge, deep glass of racing sent blood spilling out of the pony's throat, all over the ground. Tumbling to the ground, pooled blood around his neck, Covert lunged forth as the other soldier next to him. Before the soldier had a second to react, the cold steel buried itself deep into the soldier's jugular veins. Trembling, blood trickled around the soldier's purple coat. Promptly removing the blade from the pony's neck, a brief amount of red gore went flying through the air, spraying messily around Covert's face like paint blasted onto a canvas. Both soldiers lay on the ground at sides. The salty, bitter red juice that blanketed the knife ran down the blade and into his mouth. As his strength pumped for comfort, he urged to fight, to kill, to take back what was his was exhilarating. All his sense was tingling with life. Everything was clear, flowing. Never before had Kofor felt so powerful, so in control. Wide were his eyes as he looked at the filly. Just made his turn to see what he'd done. Twice that quickly, Big God tripped over her cape, falling flat on her face. Taking long, determined strides, he chuckled and saying to himself, Your Radiance. He cooed, Why do you run? Are you tired? Shall I carry you? Picking up the nearest rock, Big God hurled at his head. Missing by mere inches, he continued to prowl toward her, stopping right before her. He towered over the little one. A dim shadow engulfed the filly, who with tears pulling in the corners of her eyes.
You're supposed to be loyal to me! Your princess!
I'm loyal to Vladimir, not some little shit like you. Big God was quiet. As the large sapphire guys gazed into a messy stare. You humiliated me. Now you'll pay, you little brat! Cocking his head back, he thrust the knife hilt directly in front of her brow. Raising her hostess, she could not stop the powerful strike against her forehead. Knocking the filly under her sight, she yelped before laying on the ground in pain. Darkness consumed her vision. Though she could not see, Big God felt like her entire body was spun around. Distorted, muffled Kofor's words barely sounded coherent. As he lay upon the ground, completely immobilized, he picked her up and slipped her down on his back. Dropping the blade knife, the Kofor carried the little filly to the gorge. Carefully making his way down the dusty slope, he reached the bottom where he rested her body down on small rocks. Twisting and turning, murmuring in pain, Kofor put a huff to his hussy to her lips. Shh, princess, do not make a sound. Come nightfall, the terrors that haunt the night shall die well. You'll suffer as I did with your uncle, slowly. Soon, when they're done, there'll be nothing left of you. It'll all be an accident. So not fret, little one. It'll soon be over, trust me. Taking the largest, most flat stones around him, Kofor erected a small wall around her, covering areas of her body from view at the gorge's edge. Thick, salty sweat dripped off his forehead. Single hoof, he wiped his brow before trudging up the slope. The scene where he had killed the two soldiers was untouched. The whole area was silent. Sculver went to retrieve his knife. A thin layer of dirty blood coated the weapon's hilt. He paid it no mind. All the same, he held it steadily in his mouth. Slicing tiny minor cuts on his legs and body, he hissed as the stinging pain of each cut burned profoundly against his flesh. By now harder in the hilt, Culver started making wounds around his body. When Culver stood up, a searing pain burned every cut along his body. Once again, the dreadful wounds cried out pain, fearful manner, as he returned to one of the dead soldiers. He was still losing up for the lacerations he made, pulling up the warm, bloody biles, tossing a blade back at the soldier's wound. He put a hoof on the bloody mixture of dirt and gore. With his hoof drenched in blood, he painted various parts of his body, laughing at himself with a look of intense combat. Once he covered many areas around him with the blood of the soldier, Covert reached for the battle saddle. Pulling with one hoof, Covert activated the trigger in the mouthpiece, which was positioned below the pony's limp jaw. They loosed several loud shots. Sound carried on through the hills. He screamed out, Help us! They're here! They're here! Again, he attempted to cry out to the hills. There was no ammunition left. Hurrying the best way he could from the soldier, he found a nice open patch of dirt fell down. Closing his eyes, Comfort tried as he could to hold back the smile he wanted to form on his filthy, blood-stained face. Over the hills, he could hear the other soldiers coming. Mere moments he could see the scene around him. With Big Lot nowhere around, it was plain he was thoroughly proud of. I can't believe you would take them off by yourself. Did you really think that stupid solo act with only two men would have worked? Besides, stupidity runs in the family. I'm just glad it does, Comfort thought. Scooter was the first pony over the hillside. He came with Whopper at his side, storming down to the horrific scene.
I'm coming, your radiance!
He sighed, hearts racing and his mind buzzing with nervous thanks. Don't let Scooter and the rest of the soldiers came out to see he reeled back. Panic took over, as Scooter frantically dashed at the soldiers who had their necks sliced open. Shaken by his shoulder, Scooter cried,
You laugh? Where's your radiance? Say something!
Whopper pulled up next to his comrade, who, despite the soldiers' conditioning, kept shaking the dead pony. Pressing a hoof on Scooter's shoulder, he froze.
Look, I've been here.
Scooter growled as Whopper stood by his side. I'm not sure, boss, Whopper answered. All I can say is she doesn't look like she's here anymore. Soldiers spread out across the area, looking for a big lot. Two legion medics with satchels dangling at their sides rushed to the soldiers' aid. One of the soldiers behind them called out to the rest, "This woman over here is alive!" Springing up from the dead pony before him, Scooty dashed over to cover it. Over the former Legion captain was a medic. Satchel laid down next to him. Coughing hoarsely, Cover groaned up, sitting up slowly. Where are they? He muttered. Was it them? Scooter asked. You know, the ponies we chasing? Carter Covert stood up wearily. Legs trembling as the wounds hung his by his tongue. Yes, it was them. They came out of nowhere. Took our princess away from us. Grabbing Covert by the collar. His armor, Scooter pressed his face against Covert's. Where is they? Where did they go? I don't know. Covert grunted, pushing Scooter away. They just came at us. Guns roaring. Fury in their eyes. One of them grabbed that shoulder over there, and then the other. I don't know where they grabbed our poor princess. Dragged her away. Before I could stop them, one with a knife came at me. Sliced up my legs and knocked me out. Begging a few steps away from Covert, Scooter openly stared out into the hills with pang-stricken eyes. What are we going to do? Get father! Yes, indeed, Covert sighed, climbing up. First, we need a new leader. Someone who can lead us through this bleak tragedy. Raising an eyebrow, Scooter stepped forward. But who? Placing hoof on his chin, Covert hummed. Follow me and put me in charge of the border. And I know C stripped me of my rank, but I was chosen by him to lead. So what do you propose? Scooter asked. Well, Covert started contemplating the question. Well, I need us. I think I might have an idea of what to do. You want to lead us? Scooter asked, raising an eyebrow. Yes, I swear I'll not rest until we save her. Freddy started cutting teeth together. Covert boomed. We have to save her. I know this. There will be no failure. We will hunt them down and get each one of those despicable souls. So help me, Celestia! Scooter felt deep sinking in the bottom of his stomach. Laying down, it was like a truck had crashed within him. Royce had sighed, what else will do? Suppressing a smile he eagerly wanted to show, Covert pushed back the bubbling feeling of joy in his heart. Pointing at the gorse, he said, You go with a few soldiers and head to the Dark Mines. So it's everywhere you go. I'll head back to the border and gain some more troops. We need them if we're going to get our princess back. Fearing his eyes for Covert's voice. Scooter was on the verge of tears. Laying reassurance on her shoulder, Covert smiled. Don't worry, we will find her. And when this whole idea is done, we'll celebrate. Who knows? You might get promoted for your service. Not even the sweet word of promotion seemed to sway the heavy mood Scooter felt. Inside it irritated him, and Nancy could not scratch. Trying as he could, Scooter went silently about the area, gathering the search party to take with him. Whopper tried next to his sunken friend. Don't worry, boss. I think we can do it. I know we can. But Scooter was still quiet. Even as his party went far to the waste in search of the lost princess. Whilst these soldiers leaving the distance, one man came out to Covert. Sir, would you like to ride in the cart? You're not fit to make the trip in your condition. I'll be fine, Covert muttered in breath. I still advise it. Since you're able then, what are your orders, sir? Though he tried hard, a smile finally broke through. We need to head back to the border. Let's be quick about it. We have much to do and little time to do it. In the gorge, Big Lot tried to gain a grasp of her environment. Her whole world was spinning wildly out of control. She tried to break through the darkness that covered her vision. She'd never been knocked out before, and every little part of the experience was dreadful. There was no feeling in her limbs. The idea where her hosts were in relation to the rest of her was a blur. Nothing could have been worse. The longer she tried, the longer time seemed to race by her. Felt to a little feeling never been knocked in the head before. Any sense of time was hazy. Perhaps she had been out for days, or maybe just moments. However long it might be, changed nothing. As her conviction was set, the very moment she could walk out and see again was the moment she would kill Covert. Single moment, a slight tinkle came from her hoof, then another, another until her hoof felt sore. Not long after, Big Lot's entire body became encased in aches, especially her forehead where swelling, trouble pains, and ulcer seared uncomfortably. Blinking, the light had finally burst in wide cracks through the dark. She was conscious again. A rage stewed inside her. Heat, like that sunk forest, burned hotly. The incredible urge to strangle Covert's skinny neck made her get up slowly. Ow! Covert, Big Lot groaned, placing hoof on her brow. Swear when I find him, I'll kill him! Getting up, she patted herself down, sending small puffs of dust across her body. Why your dust kind of keep? She frowned.
Not my keep.
Raising her small head up, she sighed.
Hello? Anybody there? Your princess needs you. Hello?
Feeling like going to slip to the chords, she heard hostess approaching from the lights above. As the sounds volume rose, her ears flared merrily.
Scooter? Flopper? That you?
She called him source. An older yes poked two heads. Looking down at her, greedy yellow eyes, split tooth and siren peered down, grinning. Split tooth crowed. Oi there, little one! You lost? Need help now? Footnote, level up. New perk, Mask of the Beast. Gain +2 to stealth with every level. Since this, enemies have a harder time detecting you, even if they are alert to your presence. Footnote, level up. New perk. Now they are lost, sing, sing, sing. When you sing, it gains +5 health boosts for 20 minutes.